Hey guys, it's Matty Miller with ERA Real Estate, and we're talking today about a little bit of property management and wanted to discuss what happens when your tenant lets you know they're moving out. So there's a few things really quickly you want to do when your tenant tells you they're moving out, and you don't have to freak out. It's a very normal thing. Tenants do obviously move on from rentals, but a few things you want to do first, especially if they've been in there for a long period of time, is kind of evaluate what you're going to need to do from a repair standpoint, and then make a decision whether you want to re-rent the property or you want to sell it. I have a lot of clients that they'll rent it for a specified amount of time, and it's time for them to sell, or whatever the case may be. They may want to re-rent, they may want to do a remodel. They want to have all those conversations to make sure they're doing the best thing for their investment. So I generally get with my clients and we talk about, okay, well, it's been rented for 10 years and we need to do a little bit of a remodel and upgrade it. Here's what it's going to cost. We'll start getting bids around and quotes to get the remodel squared away. And then we'll kind of verify a price. Hey, we think we can rent it for X amount of money on this particular street or property. And we will get together a plan to get that stuff squared away sooner than later, so you don't have to wait until the tenant is completely out to make those decisions. All right, so you've established that you want to go ahead and re-rent the property, so what's next? The tenant's still in there, and what we're going to do, if we already have photos of it or professional photos of the property from a previous rental period, we would go ahead and relist that property, but we would not relist it until that tenant is actually out of that property, so we can go in and see what small repair items, whether it's some touch-up paint, some cleaning of the carpets, maybe replace the carpet, maybe redo paint, things like that. Very normal things you're going to have to do after a tenant was at your property for a while. So we're going to go ahead and get all that stuff. Once the tenant is out, we want to have it listed within 7 to 10 days after that tenant is back out, and then we want to find a new tenant within 20 to 30 days, ideally in this market. So we are fairly quick moving. We want to try to keep a tenant in there as quickly as possible. Most of the time on our move out, you're going to have a 30-day vacancy period, which is very normal. There are some property managers that will rent property with tenants in them. I personally do not do that because I want to make sure we're giving the next tenant the best possible experience as far as seeing the property, making sure everything is taken care of. I think when you rush things, you obviously get you have more issues that come up in between tenants, and then all of a sudden that tenant's like, okay, well, they moved me in 5 days after the previous tenant, and this hadn't been done, this hadn't been done, this hadn't been done, and this hadn't been done. We want to make sure we give that tenant the best possible experience when they're moving in. That way they're going to pay their rent on time. They're not going to be worried about looking for a new place. They're going to stay for 2, 3, 4 years. We want to make sure they're taken care of. So that is my breakdown in a nutshell of what we're going to do. Once a tenant tells you they're going to move out, we need to develop a plan, and we need to stick to that plan and see it through. So if you have any questions about what happens when a tenant moves out, or maybe what your property manager is doing differently, or you have questions, feel free to give me a shout. My name is Matty Miller with ERA Heavener Realty, and we'll talk to you soon, and thanks for watching.